Okay, next thing I'm going to do is some of my stretches I like doing before I do my martial arts training to give me my flexibility when I'm actually doing different training. One of the first ones is the stretching of the hamstring. I'll put my foot out in front of me at an angle and then put my hand above my knee and just press down lightly. If you're really tight, just move slightly down, and as you get stronger, you can pulse it lightly, and that's a dynamic stretch as opposed to a static. Static stretches are just holding the form, and a dynamic is giving you a 1 to 2 second pulse. And as you get better and as you warm up more, the muscles, you can move farther down. And what you're doing is you're moving your chest towards your foot. You're not pulling your head down. Make sure you keep the leg straight. Don't try to go too far because you could damage or tear a muscle. After you're done with the one leg, you switch to the other and do the same thing. Most of your weight will be in your back leg. Next stretch I like doing is to the side. It's a little more advanced stretch, but you put your foot out to the side and you bend at the waist, so you're not going to go that far if you're just starting. And what you're doing is you're opening up the hip area so that you can move more easily. And as you get better, you can go farther down. It takes time. I don't expect anybody to be instantly able to touch their head to their knee or anything like that. I've been doing this for quite a while, and I can't even do that. And switch. The next stretch I do deals with the hip flexor. A lot of us have tight in the upper section of the leg. So what we do, there's 2 ways of doing this. It's called a runner's stretch. You can reach down, put your leg back, and what you're doing is trying to keep your hips straight. The back leg would be straight, and you're just going to pulse a little bit here, and it opens up the hip area, especially along the front of that leg. And from the side, it'll look something like this. If you want to advance it, or if this is too difficult, you can put your knee down and just pulse it a little bit. You'll also feel it in the hamstring, but the emphasis should always be on the front of the leg and the back. And for a more advanced version, for those of you that are having an easy time with that, you can try to do a front split. Now the thing about the front split is you have to make sure your hip is rotated in. And there's people that are a lot better at this than me. But everyone has a start point, and that's the major thing. And from there, I go to the hamstring stretch to a side splits and move it slowly out until you feel the pull on the inside of the leg. Be careful doing this on slippery surfaces. Don't use socks, something like that, or you may really have some major injuries. And then what I do is I pivot forward at the hips. You can put your hands here to help you keep your balance, but what you're going to do is push your butt backwards so it keeps it balanced. Or you can put your hands down to the floor. From the side, it's going to look something like this. And as you get better, you walk your feet out and get a couple inches more. And you keep going. And eventually, you'll be down to the floor. I'm nowhere near that yet. And that's the basic types of stretches I use. I also loosen up the hip by moving the hip in a circular motion. Your legs will move with it. And for those that like dancing and stuff, the hip movement is always important in that. And this is a really good way of working it and loosening it up. And what I like doing is moving back and forth and then turn to the side. You may not be able to turn as far as I am, but you'll feel the stretch through the whole leg and into the upper body and your torso as well when you do this. And then you just move back and forth to get the legs loosened up and stretched, and then turn in the other direction. And that's the basics that I do quite a bit. The final one I like doing is stretching the hand wrist area, and you can put your hand on top of the other hand and you just pull the fingers back lightly, and you can flip your wrist back farther and farther as the flexibility comes. Once you feel the effect of a stretch, that's where you stop, hold it for a few seconds, and then release, and then you can come back up and do it again. Dynamic stretching before an activity is better than a static. Static stretch really creates a impact in your body that makes the muscle release, and it will lower performance if you're going to be doing any physical activities because the muscle has been told by your body to relax. And then you do the other side. Always make sure you balance your stretches between the two sides. You will find that one side of your body is tighter than the other.